Good morning, everyone. This is Rajini. I am from DBS IT College. My branch is Electronics and Communication Engineering, and my subject is Analog Communication Systems. Second year, second semester. Here, today, I want to give the explanation about modulation concept, modulation techniques, pulse modulation techniques. So these all are from the fourth unit, analog pulse modulation schemes. Here first I want to discuss what is the modulation. The modulation is the process of one or more properties of periodic waveform, the carrier signal that is transmitted. Simply, the modulation is given to the strength to message signal. Here, the figure shows this is the message signal. The message signal is sinusoidal waveform, and here it shows the carrier signal. When the message signal and carrier signal both are combining, that will be considered the modulation process. That means the modulation techniques. So here the modulation, in this modulation, the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the message signal. So then the waveform can be combining with modulation, that means combining with message signal and carrier signal. So here always we can send the signals, it will be not the signal when we can transmit it, if it is the low frequency signal, we cannot transmit properly. At that time we need modulation. For that purpose only we have to take modulation, so that the signal will given the strength to the message signal. So that's why we have to take the modulation. For example, we can take a simple without any paper. Example, we can take a paper. So without weight, the paper we can throw it outside, it will go for a small distances. Suppose we can cover with a stone, then the paper will go the long distances. So that means the paper will carry the stone, it is the strength for that paper. So then it will go for the long distances. So here the best example we can consider stone with paper. Likewise, we can take the message signal with carrier signal. Then the modulation processes will be based on the different properties or one or more properties it will be considered. Then coming to the modulation process. So we can see here, this is the input signal M of t, message signal or baseband signal, and in this we have to take carrier signal. Combining these two, that is the modulation process. Then based on these properties, it will be having the amplitude modulation, frequency modulation and phase modulation. That means the modulation process is, it is the transforming signal from signal bandwidth to the channel bandwidth. Coming to the modulation classifications, what are the modulation techniques classification? Basically, we can classify it into two types, continuous wave modulation and pulse wave modulation. Coming to the continuous wave modulation, again we can classify two types, amplitude modulation and angle modulation. In amplitude modulation, we can represent it AM, and angle modulation, again we can classify it into two types, that are frequency modulation and phase modulation. And another one is the pulse wave modulation. In pulse wave modulation, again we can classify it into two types, analog pulse wave modulation, digital pulse wave modulation. in analog form, what is the information we have to consider that message in the analog form, but the transmitted it is in the form of the discrete time. Here in digital pulse wave modulation, we can consider both time and amplitude, both are in the discrete form. So that's why this digital pulse wave modulation having the pulse code modulation, it will be used in the telecommunications. Coming to the analog pulse wave modulation, here again it will be classified into pulse amplitude modulation and pulse time modulation. This pulse time modulation we can classify it into two types: pulse position modulation and pulse duration modulation or pulse width modulation. This fourth unit is analog pulse modulation schemes. So in that the first topic is the pulse modulation techniques. So that's why before going to discuss this topic, we already discussed modulation concept, modulation process and modulation classification. So from that we can take the pulse modulation techniques. So in that first we can take the pulse amplitude modulation. So in the pulse amplitude modulation, it can be achieved two types of techniques, sampling techniques, that are we have to take natural sampling technique and flat top sampling techniques. These two are considered as the sampling techniques. These two are we are used in practically. So that purpose we have to consider these two techniques. Actually we can take the sampling techniques, we having the basically three types, that are instantaneous sampling technique, natural sampling technique, flat top sampling technique. But in PAM we have to take natural sampling technique and flat top sampling techniques. The sampling can be achieved only when the specific condition is satisfied, that is Fc is greater than or equal to 2f of t. It's Nyquist criterion. Actually the sampling signals are we have to consider, this is the continuous sampling signal and this is the discrete sampling signal. These two are considered example of sampling, continuous sampling, example of discrete sampling. So these two waveforms like this. Then we can go for the natural sampling. The natural sampling, it is the multiplication of the baseband signal and the carrier signal. Simply we have to consider here the S of t is equal to f of t into fc of t, where we can take the sinusoidal waveform. This is the baseband signal and this is the carrier signal. So these two are multiplied, then we can get this likewise the sampling waveform. So this is the natural sampling. So in the natural sampling, what we have to multiply with the message signal and the carrier signal, then we can get the modulation waveform. So this is in the pulse amplitude modulation, so that the waveform should be like this. Here we can take separately. In natural sampling, the message signal, this is the message signal. So we have to see in the pulse amplitude modulation natural sampling. So this is the message signal. For this message signal, and we can apply in the here carrier signal. So both are multiplying, we can get this natural sampling of the PAM. So here the waveform should be continuously varying. So continuously varying means it is very difficult in the process of demodulation. So before we can discuss this, I have to explain about the demodulation. Demodulation, it is the reverse process of modulation, that is separating low frequency, low power message from high frequency, high power carrier. So that means in demodulation process, we can separate the message signal and the carrier signal. So that is not possible in the case of the natural sampling technique. So that's why in natural sampling technique, this disadvantage is there. So to overcome this disadvantage, we have to go for the flat top sampling technique. Okay, flat top sampling technique. Here, this circuit we are using for sample and hold circuit. So, the sample and hold circuit we are using here switch and capacitor. Switch, when switch is open and closed, according to that the capacitor will charges and discharges takes place. So according to that we can take the message signal and the carrier signal. The waveform should be in rectangular form. So that means here the switch is open, so it will hold some time, and switch is closed. So likewise we can take here discrete time varying in the flat top sampling technique. So that's why when the switch is stripped to the direction, then the circuit diagram is like this. So when it is the switch is closed and switch is opened, then the capacitor charges, the capacitor discharges. So that we can take here switch hold circuit we have to consider for flat top sampling. So we can compare the natural sampling technique and flat top sampling technique. In natural sampling technique, this is the message signal. Here simply we can take the switch only. So that means it will be continuous of the sampling signals in this case. So that we can take here message signal and the carrier signal. So the carrier signal is, it will be get the pulse train width. So that this natural sampling technique, the waveform should get the likewise continuously varying. So this is the disadvantage of the natural sampling. So that purpose we can go for the another sampling technique, that is the flat top sampling technique. Here when we can take this natural sampling technique, the noise immunity is very less. Suppose we can take this flat top sampling, here very high noise instrument. So this is also we can consider two types of techniques in pulse amplitude modulation, natural sampling technique and flat top sampling technique. So these are the considered pulse amplitude modulation techniques. Sampling techniques are natural sampling techniques and flat top sampling techniques. Thank you very much.